hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode number 36 of TerraFirmaCraft Reloaded. Thought I'd show you how we ended up finishing up this XP farm from last episode, the XP berry farm. On the stream on Tuesday, we had a little think about it and decided that a change. I think we had pine strips here before, but we've gone for willow because the green kind of matches then the berries themselves. Chucked a door on, and I also chucked this little lip around the top there, and a bit more spruce in on all the corners there. And I think you'll agree this room is starting to pop now, and it couldn't be easier to harvest as well. You just through the gaps run along. Oh, he says maybe sword isn't the best approach because swords can have a right click function. Anything that has a right click function isn't any good, but like a pickaxe is perfect, and you just run along, bada bing bada boom. So that wasn't even a full harvest. We hadn't let it fully grown, but we've got a stack out of it there. Good news for sure. And in fact, kind of on this subject, there are a few things today that I want to show you from the stream. Well, okay, so firstly, not the stream just gone, but the stream before that, we actually quite considerably made additions to our farming area. Let me just have a sleep up here. So let's show it now. Over here, you'll notice a brand new bed for planting crops there, plonked right in the middle of the water, and a nice bridge then going over these sort of fields, these areas of tilled land. So this bridge matches the barn. And I think that hill there is the area for the storage barn. But yeah, so the reason we built this thing is because these are crops that need to grow on vanilla dirt, and so we just chucked some vanilla dirt down there, sunken into the water, and yeah, we're growing some crops there. Very nice. And we have these psychedelic craft drying tables here for processing our plants. And yeah, this area is looking pretty big in the game. There's yet another highlight from the stream, and that is something we mentioned last time when we were talking last time about our iron supplies and potentially using a gunpowder barrel. Well, on yesterday's stream, we got excited by that idea, and that's what we did. And I figure like a little bit of gunpowder and manipulation is something that we need to show here in the episode. So we're just going to cut to a cheeky edited segment from yesterday's stream now. So enjoy. Save. Welcome everybody. Welcome one and all to another TFC Tuesday. Let's put this backpack down here, say, and just start filling her up. I think this is the kind of event on the stream that's going to end up being edited into the episode. We'll have some sort of a highlights reel from the stream of this, because this is a big event right now. There we go. Right, 2 circuits finally. So that's that, and these guys can go like that. A couple of repeaters should be plenty, I think. Let's chuck those in there. Let's grab all of these vessels too. Throw them in here. We could even put all of the gunpowder into vessels too to really max this out, but I think we'll be fine. How much gunpowder? So I'm using 12 full stacks. I'm going to fill a barrel. A completely full barrel of gunpowder is what we're going to go for. Maximum explosions. And I think we're finally ready to go. Okay, let's go. Let's go. This is exciting. We keep track of this as we go down our ladder. Whoa! Where's the ladder? Where's the ladder? There must have been a cave-in that destroyed the ladder. Okay, perfect. Perfect, and the stuff's still here. Do you guys want to see the alternative location? There's one other location that we could consider. This exposed and rich lemonite, those two. I'm kind of leaning towards this limonite location over here now. I feel like it will be less risky than doing something really deep underground. We had 2 veins that are exposed and probably within 40 blocks of one another and at the surface, and we've taken minimal from each. Okay, alright, let's just start blowing things up. We could do 2 half ones, but you know what I really want to see? I want to see a full one. Let's just place it right here. We're getting large readings here, aren't we? Very large. Yeah, let's place it right here. So, and then we'll get all the bauxite and we'll get a load of other crap, amber and stuff with it too. Why not? So we need a barrel. Woohoo! We've got to seal it. We've probably got to seal it. Then we've got to pick this thing back up. Oh no, we want to take our redstone out. Pick this thing back up. So you guys don't think I'm going to get hurt by this at 45 blocks. I just hope that it meant 40, like the crater's 40 blocks in diameter, not radius. Because if they actually meant radius, then we'll get blasted. Right. Is everybody ready? How are we all feeling about this right now? I'm feeling pretty good. Here we go. I took damage. I did take damage, but not a lot. Okay, there's quite a lot of resources to pick up here. We probably lost quite a lot. The fact that the floor is covered in cobblestone is a little bit scary. We've got 12 pieces so far. Not much. It's a shame there wasn't a sound effect. We might have to add one in post-production here. But falling cobble won't destroy blocks that were split open, so 15 pieces. It's a bit of a flop, guys. That was a bit of a flop. I think we probably lost quite a lot. So, a worthwhile experiment. Okay, so that was interesting. I think you'll agree. We didn't get exactly what we wanted out of it. We got hardly any iron, but in the name of science, we learnt an awful lot about gunpowder barrels, and I've got a strategy I want to employ next time. The top-down explosions. But we also learnt, right, that we can actually farm gunpowder pretty nice here. That's how we got up to the full barrel that we used in our test. I mean, the main ingredients here are this saltpeter powder, which we can actually get, well, we can get from this saltpeter, which I think we get the main mineral, should we say, from gravel, from sieving gravel. But better yet is if we use this powder, cut out the middleman, so we can get it as a byproduct of processing sandstone in the sag mill into sand. For each piece of sandstone there, we are getting up to 4 pieces of sand, but at least 2. And then this potential saltpeter drop. Now here's the thing, here's where the magic happens in terms of farming saltpeter. You see this sandstone? Well, look at this. Sandstone can be acquired in the metal press. We can actually put vanilla sand in here, there you go, with a cauldron, and we'll make sandstone. And so the thing that's particularly mental about that is that that's a 1-to-1 conversion. So every block of sand we put in here outputs 1 block of sandstone, which we then bring over to the sag mill again, and we can convert that 1 block of sandstone into up to 4 pieces of sand. And so with this method, we can essentially duplicate sand. We have infinite sand, and therefore, as a byproduct, infinite saltpeter powder. So that's one ingredient. There we go, saltpeter powder coming through already. The only thing is when we're running both these machines at once, that one's still going, so is this one. you can see now we are actually using, oh, it must have just stopped there, but we're using more power than we're producing when they're both running. But only marginally. It can still run for quite a while with 1 million stored in there. The second part of it, though, is sulfur powder. So you can get this sulfur mineral from also certain types of gravel. But again, not that interesting because of the low drop rates and the amount of time it takes to sieve something. And because they come in these batches where it's mostly gems. We're getting like odd beneficial things here and there from sifting gravel, but as we learned when we tried to use it as a way to get graphite, it was slow. However, the powder itself, so crusher, yep, sure, lignite, right, so we can actually get it as a byproduct of converting lignite into coal powder, which we'll do some of. We'll be doing some of that. Blaze rods, now I don't know, we didn't actually look, can we farm blaze rods? No, we can't. So that one's out. Soul sand, TerraFirmaCraft soul sand, we can get it from, but we've struggled to find TerraFirmaCraft soul sand. Again, none of these look particularly interesting until we get to our dust, ex nihilo or metamod. Either or, both types of dust produce all this same stuff right here, yeah? And look at what stuff it is. It's aluminium, it's rose gold, it's iron. It's some of these Thorncraft shards. We've got lapis there, limonite, more iron. We've got malachite powder. We've got kaolinite and graphite there. The sulfur, obviously. We get saltpeter as well, okay? Copper, glowstone, silver, bismuth, tin, redstone, lead, right? More of these shards. Quartz and chalk powder. It's like, I mean, not everything, but it's like a large portion of the things that we need to mine. It turns out that each piece of this powder does make a little bit of iron in the smeltery there. Now I believe actually if you look at some of these other ones, like these pieces of dust, I think, these big ones, the bauxite, the rose gold, silver, is it these ones that then, look at that. If you heat one of these surgent pieces of dust, you actually get an entire ingot. In the alloy smelter here, look at this. You can actually use these to just make full ingot recipes. So when you're looking at this here, you got to think, that rose gold drop there, that's an ingot of rose gold, that's an ingot of iron, that's an ingot of gold. Copper, lead, aluminium, tin, bismuth, silver, rose gold. I mean, certainly the tin and the bismuth is really good. It's a shame there's no zinc in there. I just get the feeling that dust would be an amazing thing to be automatically sifting. And if we look at dust, how do we make it? We make it with vanilla sand. And vanilla sand we can duplicate. We have infinite vanilla sand. So anyway, all this is very interesting. Now, we can't auto-sieve. There's no auto-sieve in this pack, or auto-sifting function. But we can maybe experiment today with these block placers. Can this block placer right here, can it place things into the sieve? So could we have a massive run of hoppers and chests leading into a block placer, placing things in the sieve for me so that I can AFK with a mouse clicking app running in the background and it will just sift. And we could put a little vacuum hopper next to it, have, like say, the block placer doing all the placing, we're just clicking, and we wouldn't even then have to get our Thorncraft golems going before we could start automating that process with a few overnight AFKs. But the second part of this is producing the dust. Well, sorry, I'd say that is the second part. The first part of the thing is producing the dust. And that's where I'd like to experiment with the Open Blocks block breaker. Now, does it have a tool slot? If it does, and we can put our ex nihilo hammer in, can we actually, with a block placer and block breaker, automate the process of hammering the dust? Because if we look quickly at dust itself, the metamod's dust can only be produced in the kernel. We can't even automate that. So that's out. That would be manual by necessity. Ex nihilo dust, the only way is with the ex nihilo hammers. And you can get it from any type of sand, including vanilla, but that's it. So the dust production may be the thing that is impossible to automate here, but we just have to experiment with these two, with the block breaker and the block placer. So it would be like this, like that, and like that, and like that. There we go. Block breaker, beautiful. We need a piston, which I think is redstone in the center, is it? Nope, other way around. There we go, piston for a block placer. So I think first things first right here, can this dude place sand? How does this work? A redstone signal. So it doesn't just sort of, we need to be sending it regular pulses. We need a clock. Now, block breaker. There we go, perfect. And does this guy, no, it doesn't even have an interface. So I fear, guys, that this won't work. Yeah, so this block breaker isn't going to work because it's just breaking them straight back into sand. There doesn't seem to be a way for me to give this hammer to the block breaker at all. So that element won't work. We could automate the placing of it though, and again probably AFK with auto clicker, just holding down the hammer. So that's a possibility. Nevertheless, like, we can make some sort of auto-clicking station here, I would imagine. Okay, and then another experiment that we need to do here is, can the block placer place blocks into the spruce sieve here? Okay, so that's pointing down, so we put our dust in there, and then let's... No. It might need to be right there. Probably isn't going to work. Sieve's empty. So it looks like in order to automate this at all, we are going to need to get into ThermaCraft, and we're going to need to have some golems working away at these sieves. So with that in mind, this area, this kind of process might need its own room, like a factory for dust processing. And we'll get gunpowder as a kind of result of that. One of the other elements to gunpowder is charcoal, and so I was considering building a couple more coke ovens and setting them up with hoppers underneath. You could almost repurpose this area then for something else. Okay, so I'm just making a hopper quickly with 8 pieces of iron, and I can never remember which way round these two hammers do things. I always have to check, so I've just made myself a little sign here. Red hammer is the one that goes pig iron to steel, and the blue hammerhead makes our doubles and our sheets. And we want the blue. We're going to chuck 8 pieces of iron in to get our sheets going for this hopper. Nice. Okay, so while those are heating up, let me show you what I've done down here. Firstly, I've moved these objects from over there back over here. Actually, we had a little bit of a rearrange. Pottery kiln there now, engineer's workbench there, and that is because I wanted to clear out this area, because I realised there's a little area here we can dig down into. And I've made a very short little redstone clock, and yeah, this works basically. We can send a very quick pulse like that, goes, turns the thing on, it's full of sand, and then we just need a heavy item on our left click, and I can just walk away from this, and we have dust for days. Dust for days. Now, the only problem is that things are flying all over the place here. I was getting big pieces of dust ending up in this corner, over there, up here. So, what we are going to be doing is making a vacuum hopper. And if we have a quick look, the vacuum hopper here requires an eye of ender and a piece of obsidian. Now, the eye of ender with the blaze powder we can now do because we have a crusher. And you know, the other one to consider here is the vacuum chest from Ender.io. Yeah, so this thing uses up 7 pieces of iron there, but then this pulsating crystal also needs iron nuggets around it. Pulsating iron, which is iron and an ender pearl. So it uses an ender pearl of this thing as well. That's going to be a piece of iron plus a diamond, and an ender pearl and the chests and 8 pieces of iron. So when you think about actually the cost of these two is pretty equivalent, except that this one here uses a piece of obsidian, whereas the other one uses a chest and a diamond. So I'm going to go with the one that doesn't use the diamond. Alright, let's do it. In you go. Oh, so exciting. Wow, just immediate. Cool. And this guy's finished, yep. Right, 36. It's quite a lot. It's going to last us. Eye of Ender. Obsidian. Hopper. Nope. Minecraft hopper. Obsidian. Eye of Ender. Vacuum hopper. Right, these things are pretty cool. So hopefully this is going to work now. I guess we want to put it like there is probably fine. With the double chest underneath it. We've got some spare chests, I think, in our wooden box here. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I think Sprucey's going to be fine. And then do we have to just output it from its underside like that, I think? Right, that should work. So if we just get like a piece of dust and we just throw it like here. Hey! Okay, so we can put all our dust in there. And now we should be able to properly test this thing. Okay, yeah, so I'm just holding left click right now. I guess some of it ends up in our inventory, which isn't a problem either. Presume at some point our inventory would be full anyway. But now let's just take a step away and just see if there's anything that got away. 35 pieces there. Nothing up there, nothing up here, nothing on the floor. A couple pieces made it into my inventory, which we could do a more controlled test, I suppose, by... No, I think that's good. I think that's fine. So the only thing then left to do with this one is just make it a bit tidier again. Yeah, that's cool, and it kind of sinks into where we've got the support beams nicely. I guess the other thing that will happen is this iron hammer will run out of durability after 125 pieces. That's not very much, is it? So we have to think about that actually, because these ex nihilo hammers, wherever they all are, like the diamond one is probably what we want, but the diamond one, these are blue steel hammerheads that we need here, people. So that would be 2 ingots of blue steel to make one of these guys. Should we invest that? It might be worth the investment. We need to consider the amount of stuff we are going to get for dust. We do have a bit of blue steel. I wonder if we can put unbreaking on it. Okay, lovely. And look, because we do have the levels and we've just finished our farm and everything, let's just go and check if we can actually enchant this thing. Like, imagine if we could give it a bit of... I mean, this might just be an obvious no straight away. We actually can enchant it. Okay, let's go hit level 30. Do we want to chuck I just thought actually, do we want to risk it and just throw random enchantment on it? It might be something that's terrible. We can't tell in this pack. I might just quickly check. Okay, this is getting tangential now, but I'm just going to quickly check and see if we've got an Unbreaking 3 book. If we do, I'm going to chuck it on this bad boy. Hopefully Unbreaking even works. I mean, it's enchantable, and it's a block breaking tool. So to that end, you would think we've got Unbreaking 1 there. Well, let's do the rest of our 11 books then. Let's shoot for an Unbreaking 3 book. And then we'll need a vanilla anvil as well, won't we? Do we have a vanilla anvil? And how much do they cost? So we need a steel anvil welded with a steel double ingot. So a steel anvil is 7 double. So the whole thing's 8 double ingots of steel. That's 16 steel. That's not too bad. We can do that. We got loads of steel. But let's see if we actually get the book that we want first, because we may well not. Okay, here we go. Damage for feather falling 4. That's kind of awesome. So it pretty much takes a stack, gets us pretty much to level 30. Protection 3. Okay, not bad. Silk touch. Protection 3. Unbreaking 3. Ladies and gents, we did it. Alright, so cheeky 16 steel. Okay, and we double them up. Now, I presume we need to heat up this anvil as well, which is kind of a bit long. Oh, we need to put that on our back, don't we? There we go. Okay, just checking on these quickly. The double ingot's warming, but the anvil just isn't. Let's see if this works. What have I done wrong? Steel anvil are better. Steel anvil, steel double ingot. Definitely weldable. Definitely not working. I'm sure it's because we're not able to heat that up for some reason. This recipe's obviously been put in without giving any thought to the fact that that can't be hot enough to weld, maybe. It's just not letting us do it. So maybe we'll have to use this Ender IO dark steel one. And dark steel, where does that come from? Steel, coal powder and obsidian. Oh yeah, we made some of this, didn't we? That's a lot of it though. I'm not sure if we can do that today. Damn. Oh well. We'll just leave that there for next time we're crucibling. We can melt that down. Well, look, for the purposes of the test, because I do need to go and make some lunch now, we're just going to go with it. But we've got our Unbreaking 3 book. We might have a look at this problem after this test. But I'm just going to crack on with this now. So we're going to balance something heavy on the left mouse button. Yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, all right. Look what I came back to. Firstly, hunger. We need to think about hunger. But also, look, I ended up digging a hole in the side of this, and I worry that there may have been some cave-ins while we were away. However, from here, we actually look like we're okay. Yeah, I think we've gotten away with that, but that is potentially very scary. I mean, maybe this tool doesn't cause cave-ins. Anyway, I mean, we ended up with a decent amount of dust. It's quite a lot of stacks, that, and diamond hammer here. The diamond hammer's taken, what, about a third of its durability there. Now, if we were to just put one of these blocks there like that, and leave the hole, or indeed fill the hole, but fill it with chiseled blocks, then we know that we're going to be safe, as long as we always point down that hole. Then we're only ever going to break chiseled blocks and we'll be alright. Anyway, I think it might be worth going into a cave somewhere else and just experimenting with this hammer, seeing if we can actually cause a cave in with it or not. I would imagine that we can, because it would just probably act like trying to break something with your hand. Anyway, the next step here is to AFK with all of this dust. I'll just have to keep coming back and rolling the mouse wheel with my auto clicker on, and we're going to maybe move the vacuum hopper over to here. Okay, after a lot of playing around, we finally got that thing linking into this chest here where I've been dumping stuff that I've already sifted. So then let's use this one below, I guess, to just empty as much of our inventory into it as we can. Okay, welcome back. So we've done that now. Here's what we got. Tiny amount of copper and bauxite there, a little bit of gold, quite a bit of rose gold. What I noticed is huge amounts of limonite powder. Yeah, look, of everything in the list, limonite powder's got a 20% drop chance. There's a few things with 10%, like redstone, a few things with 5% chances, but most of the good stuff has like 1% or 2 or 3% chances, which isn't great. So what you get is a lot of limonite powder more than anything. And I think with this stuff we can chuck it in the smeltery, can't we? So we can actually make iron out of this powder. It's very interesting. We've got some hematite powder too. Getting graphite and kaolinite, which is pretty nice. A little bit of malachite there, a bit more copper. In terms of sulfur and saltpeter, not a lot from 13 stacks. We're getting like a piece a stack. But a fair bit of redstone there. Some of these Thermacraft essency bits, which is good, I think. I mean, you know, if we can get a golem sat here just constantly sifting dust, and all we've got to do is a little AFKing on that thing for the whole process, is probably quite worthwhile activity. I mean, given the abundance of sand that we're experiencing with that duping thing. Let's have a quick look now. We'll just leave this stuff in here, but let's have a quick look at how many ingots of iron all that actually translates to. 9 ingots of silver there. It's not too bad, you know. Alright, so we got 18 ingots. It's not bad. That really isn't bad, you know, for some passive activity. Yeah, if we can golem it, because this is the part where we had to keep coming back to roll the mouse wheel. That I can leave for, like, if we set up hoppers behind it, with chests feeding him. We could do a double chest's worth of processing without having to like return to the machine. Maybe we die of hunger if we leave it there for too long, but this is stuff we can just do while we're not even playing, you know. So yeah, it's interesting. This is very interesting. But yeah, so definitely food for thought, and I think what this means is that next episode has to be Thermcraft. We've made a really decent start with immersive engineering and a bit of Ender IO, and a few of these machines are doing us proud, but probably before we build more machines we need to upgrade our power. And I think that actually pushing into the basics of Thermcraft and seeing how quickly we can get to a golem, that might be more late game Thermcraft stuff, I'm not sure, but let's start Thermcraft, you know. We'll do that next episode. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching as per usual, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care and peace.